Let's take up properties of alkenes. Physical properties. The first three members are gases. The next 14 are liquids and still higher ones are solids. They are colorless and odorless except ethylene C2H4 which has a faint sweet smell. Practically insoluble in water but slightly soluble in non-polar organic solvents. Their specific gravity, melting point, boiling point, rise with increase in molecular weights in the homologous series. But branch chain alkenes will have lower boiling point than corresponding state chain alkenes because they have minimum surface area, therefore minimum van der Waals force of attraction, hence lower boiling point. Because of high polarity, cis alkenes boil at higher temperature than the transform. Cis alkenes have higher dipole moment, whereas the alkenes, if it is symmetrical, it has zero dipole moment, and if it is unsymmetrical, it will have low dipole moment. So since polarity in cis alkene is more, so van der Waals force of attraction in cis alkene will be more, and they will boil at higher temperature. But in case of melting point, cis alkenes have poor symmetry and they do not fit into crystal lattice easily. That is why their melting point is lower than trans isomer. Trans isomer being symmetrical fit into crystal lattice more readily. That is why their melting points are higher. Therefore, cis alkenes have lower melting point as compared to trans isomers. The lower alkenes possess general anesthetic properties. Anesthetic properties means if they are inhaled, they may cause unconsciousness. Alkenes are very reactive as compared to respective alkanes. Alkanes were saturated hydrocarbons, so they were less reactive. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons having double bond, they are more reactive because pi bond is weaker. They undergo addition reactions very rapidly, and the high reactivity of alkene is due to distortion of valency of carbon atoms from their normal angles, that is Baer strain theory, and to the pi bond which being comparatively weak had tendency to break rapidly and sigma bond remains intact. The most important reactions of alkenes are electrophilic addition reactions or free radical addition reactions. They undergo free radical substitution reactions also, cleavage reactions and polymerization reactions. So these are various types of reactions which alkenes can undergo. Electrophilic addition reactions they undergo because alkenes are source of pi electrons. Free radical addition reactions will take place in the presence of initiator which can generate free radicals. Free radical substitution reaction takes place usually at high temperature where homolytic fission is forced. Similarly, polymerization reaction and cleavage reactions take place under specific conditions. First, we are taking addition reactions. Those reactions in which a molecule is added along across the double bond to form a addition compound in which there are single bonds is called addition reactions. For example, ethylene or ethene, when hydrogen is added to it in the presence of nickel as a catalyst at 200 degrees centigrade, ethane is formed. So alkene we have converted to alkane. That is unsaturated hydrocarbons are changed to saturated hydrocarbon. So this is the example of addition reaction. Another example of addition reaction, ethene, we are reacting with Cl2. So one Cl will go to this carbon, another Cl will go to this carbon and double bond will change to single bond. We will get ethylene dichloride which is also called Dutch liquid. Its IUPAC name is 1,2-dichloroethane. So this is addition of chlorine to ethene which results in the formation of vicinal dihalide. Vicinal dihalide means the two halogen atoms are on adjacent carbon which can be called as 1,2-dichloroethane. Electronic mechanism. The presence of pi bond in alkenes makes the bond double bond as a source of electrons. These electrons become readily available to the attacking reagent, that is electrophiles. Because electrophiles have love for electrons, they can attack pi bonds, which are positively charged ions or electron deficient species. In actual practice, it is found that the addition reactions are initiated either by electrophilic attack or by free radical attack. Electrophilic addition reactions, it takes place in polar medium like water, and it is supposed to take place stepwise as given below. For example, we are adding bromine molecule to unsaturated hydrocarbon, that is alkene. Now, Br2 molecule is non-polar, but it gets polarized due to the presence of pi bond, pi electrons in the vicinity of alkene molecule. This is Br2, which is non-polar. Now it has started becoming polar. One end becomes positively charged, other end becomes negatively charged in presence of pi electrons of alkenes. The polarized Br2 molecule forms an unstable pi complex through its positive end. This is double carbon-carbon double bond of alkene, and this Br positive will attack the carbon atoms or pi electrons, whereas Br negative end will be released. So this is the pi complex which is formed between alkene and Br2 through the positive end of bromine. Why positive end of bromine? Because pi electrons are present here. So pi electrons will again attract electrophile, that is positively charged end. As a result of the rupture of Br-Br bond, bromonium ion and bromide ions are formed. Pi bonded complex is here. Ultimately what happens? This bond breaks. So this Br joins the pi electron cloud, and this is called bromonium ion plus bromide ion is formed. The nucleophile attack of the Br negative ion from the opposite side of alkene then gives the dibromo compound. Now remember that Br negative will attack from this side, and this is called opposite side because already this side is crowded and already have Br positive, so Br negative will attack from this side and we get dibromo compound. This is called anti-addition because both the bromine are being attached on the opposite side, therefore this is called anti-addition. About two steps polar mechanism received support from the work of Francis, who showed that when ethylene reacts with bromine in presence of aqueous NaCl, the products are ethylene bromide and 1-bromo-2-chloroethane. That ethylene we are reacting with Br2 in the presence of NaCl. So in the first step, Br positive will attack. Second step, there are two possibilities that Br negative will attack as well as Cl negative will attack. In second step, when Br negative attacks, we get 1,2-dibromoethane. And in second step, if Cl negative attacks, we get 1-bromo-2-chloroethane. There are two halogens, bromine and chlorine, which will be preferred. They are preferred alphabetically. So I have called it 1-bromo-2-chloroethane. The absence of ethylene dichloride among the products rule out the nucleophilic addition of nucleophile, that is Cl minus on the alkene, which itself is a nucleophile. Hence, the mechanism of Francis reaction can be suggested as that this is ethylene molecule reacts with Br2, and here we get Br positive gets attached to the pi electron cloud. Now there are two possibilities. It's attacked by Br negative and we get 1,2-dibromoethane. Another possibility is get attacked by chloride ion, so we get 1-bromo-2-chloroethane. So it clearly shows that there is first electrophile attacks the pi electrons and second nucleophile attacks. In the first step, nucleophile cannot attack. The addition of halogens to alkenes is completely stereospecific reaction as discussed below. What do you mean by stereospecific? That it gives a particular optically active or optically inactive compound when reaction takes place. For example, this is cis-2-butene and here Br2 is reacting. And if you remember that this reaction will be anti-addition. That is, one Br will attack from this side, another Br will attack from this side. It results in the formation of racemic mixture of 2,3-dibromobutane. What do you mean by racemic mixture? This compound is dextrorotatory. Dextrorotatory means it rotates the plane polarized light towards right, and this one is levorotatory. This will rotate the plane polarized light towards left, that is anti-clockwise direction. So this is racemic mixture of 2,3-dibromobutane, that is equal amount of dextrorotatory and levorotatory substances are formed. That is the reason this reaction is called stereospecific reaction. And optical isomerism we will be studying in detail in class 12th. Trans-2-butene, this is trans-2-butene. If here Br2 reacts, now one Br will get attached from this side, another Br will attach from this side. It results in the formation of meso-2,3-dibromobutane. What is meant by meso-2,3-dibromobutane? Meso compounds have internal plane of symmetry. That is, if you place a mirror at this place, you will find the mirror image upper and down the molecule, or the molecule can be cut into two equal halves along this plane. Here what happens, the upper half of the molecule, if rotates the plane polarized light towards right, the lower half will rotate towards left, and net optical rotation will be zero, and these are called meso compounds. So trans-2-butene, when undergoes addition reaction with Br2, it will give meso compounds, and if cis-2-butene reacts with bromine, it will give you racemic mixture of 2,3-dibromobutane. Next, we are taking free radical addition reactions. It takes place in the presence of sunlight. Homolytic fission will take place, or ultraviolet light of the sunlight, or when the reactants are in vapor phase are placed in the flask containing non-polar material. It can also take place in the presence of peroxide and a non-polar solvent. Let's take up the different steps. Halogen molecule undergoes homolytic fission into free radicals by absorption of quantum of energy from ultraviolet light, which is denoted by H nu. This is chlorine molecule in which this bond is breaking homolytically. When it breaks homolytically, one electron is taken by this chlorine, one electron is taken by this chlorine, we get two chlorine free radical. This is formation of chlorine free radical by homolytic fission of Cl2. Olefin molecule means alkene molecule now reacts with halogen free radical to produce another free radical as shown below. This is chlorine free radical which reacts with ethylene. So here also homolytic fission will take place, and one of the Cl will get attached to CH2 radical, and this radical will be generated. So this is new free radical which is formed by attack of Cl radical on alkene, which undergoes homolytic fission. After a free halogen molecule reacts with the new free radical to give required product with the formation of another halogen, free radical which reacts with the second molecule of alkene and just setting a chain reaction. This is a free radical. Now it induces homolytic fission in Cl2. One Cl radical will attack this free radical to form 1,2-dichloroethane, and a free radical will be generated. And this process will continue and a chain reaction will be set up. Addition of halogen acids. The alkyl halides are formed. The order of reactivity is Hi is more reactive than HBr, is more reactive than HCl. Why? Because Hi has least bond dissociation energy. Why it has least bond dissociation energy? Due to larger bond length, because iodine is largest in size. And HBr is more reactive than HCl. Again, its bond length is more than HCl. So bond dissociation energy is less. So reactivity depends upon bond dissociation energy, which in turn depends upon bond length. So Hi will react fastest with alkene. Ethene reacts with Hi, and product formed is CH3, CH2I, that is iodoethane or ethyl iodide is formed.